Crazy that you say that, because I think a lot of people have gotten used to the feeling of feeling like shit.
Volume,
Yeah.
more volume.
Guys, what's up? Jason and Amanda here, talking performance to aesthetics, part number two. So, we made a video back when we were in Dallas. We kind of mentioned Amanda's journey, talking about going from a performance continuum for what? How many years have you been doing performance-based endeavors?
Well, for me, like 12 years.
12 years of performance-based endeavors. 2 out of our 3 years working together. And now we're shifting to a purely aesthetic goal. And if you haven't seen the last video, I'd encourage you to go check it out. A lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, well, why can't I have both? Why can't I have performance? Why can't I have aesthetics? You know, we touched on it in the last video. It comes down to the triangle of awareness and really understanding that performance goals are really in a lot of areas contrary to aesthetic goals. And, you know, when you really want absolute aesthetics, when you want to achieve that super lean physique, you have to control stress. And, you know, performance is just very high intensity, high volume exercise, which is a significant stressor.
Oh, totally.
So you've been going 12 years. There's an accumulation of stress. We know where we're at, right?
Yes.
So here we are, 6 weeks into the journey, and we're starting to see some really good success.
Yeah.
We're down what? Down a short size? Down 3 pounds.
Down 3 pounds, which isn't much, you know, like, and I still fluctuate a lot. The scale number is pretty much like a lot less tumultuous. Like, I mean, it just stays a lot more even rather than up, down, and really like crazy jumps. And then I'm down a short size, so
awesome.
Pretty crazy.
Always good to quantify things in multiple ways. So it's good to look at the scale, but then it's good to look at, you know, physical things too, like being down a short size, and that's something you've been looking for quite a while. I remember I got the text, and I'm like, oh, that's rad. I didn't really realize how long you've been chasing that. So even better. More importantly, guys, I want to give you an update and some things that we were talking about off camera on how she feels. And so what the biggest changes are. What have you noticed that's different?
Well, the hunger is a lot more apparent for me as far as like a negative, but I knew that going in that it would be a lot more intense. So I'm not upset with that, but definitely it's a lot more noticeable.
So guys, obviously in a performance continuum, if hunger is super strong, you're not really going to let that ride. You're going to feed it because you obviously need a little more fuel for performance and definitely recovery. Well, in the aesthetic pursuit, we need to make sure she's recovered, but we're looking at other biofeedback markers for that. You know, here, I'm okay with a hunger response. In fact, we're looking to keep that hunger response to make sure that her metabolic hormones are functioning properly. And really it's just indicative of putting her in the deficit she needs to be in. But you're sleeping okay.
Yeah,
and more importantly, I think that we talked about your training. It feels better than ever.
Yeah, no, my training feels better than ever. I feel like I was telling him I actually sweat now where I wasn't really sweating before. I leave the gym and I actually feel like I can focus throughout the rest of the day, because before I was pretty wired and really like anxious for a good majority of the day. Yeah, overall I feel a lot better.
So it's awesome. Like, you go in the gym, you do the training session, you know, in the 12 years of performance, you're probably used to like leaving feeling like shit, almost to the point where if you didn't leave feeling like shit, that maybe you feel like you didn't do enough work.
Oh, totally. And like, even when I first started this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. And I was struggling, and I think I was texting him being like, oh my god, I'm not doing enough during the day. This is crazy.
It's kind of crazy that you say that, because I think a lot of people have gotten used to the feeling of feeling like shit.
Volume, more volume.
It's so sad, because I think if you've gotten used to leaving the gym feeling like crap and creating a normalcy around that, I feel like that's highly uneducated. I mean, listen, you should go in, you should work hard, you should definitely get a stimulus. You do not have to leave feeling like crap, feeling like it takes you the rest of the day to recover. Now, if you go to that place like 1 or 2 times every now and then, cool. Like, you got some intensity.
But I mean, I leave and I feel like sore all over. It's not like my central nervous system feels jacked. I feel like just tired because my arms like won't work, or my legs won't work, or I'm just so sore.
Now let's get into some of the nuances, right, and the tracking. And obviously, you know, I think that in a performance continuum, you tend to get away with some things, because let's be honest, you have a little slip up in your macros in the performance continuum, no big deal, right? Like, especially if you went over your macros, you got extra fuel, extra recovery. In the physique world, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Talk to us about compliance and the level of precision you have to act with to create that compliance.
So I definitely can't get away with the stuff that I used to, as far as like if I would go out on date night and have like 2 drinks during the weekend, which I love, and that's my non-negotiable. But like honestly, I can't really get away with that anymore.
It definitely has a far bigger impact in terms of your goals.
I mean, I have to like be very precise with measuring. Even eating out is really hard for me because I can't really quantify anything.
It's a lot more difficult.
It's a lot more difficult.
Now, guys, please understand, we're saying this in a pursuit that's purely aesthetic, trying to reach a pinnacle of aesthetics. So at the tail end of this, we're either going to do some sort of photo shoot, something to really allow Amanda to show off her hard work. We're not talking about maintaining a positive aesthetic change, just kind of in general. We're talking about the pinnacle of aesthetic pursuit. So I don't want anybody to get confused and think that if you simply want to look better, you have to be this precise.
Or give up all these things.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going into this with like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I know what I'm getting at. Like this isn't what
this is basically just short of getting on stage, tanning yourself up, putting yourself in a teeny little bikini.
Going all in.
We're going all
we're
in,
going on
except for the stage.
Yes, except for the stage. That was not.
Awesome. So guys, less training fatigue, better overall well-being, improved body composition already. You're in a new short size, body weight is starting to come down. And really just improved lifestyle. You know, some sacrifices in terms of, you know, a little more precision to the macros, a little more effect on deviations.
But even like timing of like nutrients, we're going into that.
Yeah, so starting next week, the biggest change Amanda's going to see is we're going to start seeing that we're timing our carbohydrates. Pre and post workout are going to become essential. We're really going to look to maximize her insulin sensitivity throughout the day. I think that we went through a brief phase in the beginning where really it was about glycogen resaturation. Guys, like we said, she's been just, you know, probably glycogen deficient for upwards of 10 plus years, right? 12 years, just constantly burning through carbohydrate, constantly performing. Now we're in a position where we've probably achieved that. We've probably achieved some sort of baseline homeostatic balance. So now we can really begin an aggressive, active fat loss phase. You know, we might try a couple different protocols that we'll chronicle in these videos. Obviously, we'll be making sure we create lots of content, but here's the update, guys. She's down in weight, she's down to short size, she's feeling better, performance is better, the gym is fun, this whole pursuit is fun again.
I actually want to train again because I didn't want to train for a while, so it's kind of great.
The desire to train is back, guys. Here we are, Performance to Aesthetics Part 2. We'll see you guys next time.